In my line of work, I'm not only an educator, but also a part-time therapist and psychologist, life coach, father figure, and as a part-time Uber driver, I have found that one of my guilty pleasures is connecting randomly with strangers. And in line with that, like another thing that I will admit to loving is reading Craigslist missed connections. And like I think the two sort of have some things in common. Like I don't know if who's read or written a Craigslist. Like they tend to follow like a certain pattern, right? It's like I saw you at Chipotle last night. When the guy behind the counter said or asked you if you wanted more beans, you said, been there, done that. I laughed heartily. You smiled at me. If it's you, tell me what kind of belt buckle I was wearing at Chipotle last night, right? So, and like, I don't know, like, I don't judge these people because I think some of these moments can be beautiful, and like, I really hope these people do connect. And I really love it, like, when I can connect with someone via Uber. And I found that, like, I can't judge people right away when I'm driving Uber. Like, for example, I picked up some guys about 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night outside of a bar. They were Penn frat guys. And, like, I wanted to judge them. But they got in my car, and they were a little bit intoxicated. And I asked them, like, you know, what are you guys doing? You guys going home? You going back out? And one of the guys said to me, one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my entire life. He said, dude, home is out. I'm just glad I got to share that connection with him. Like, even like with people who I seemingly wouldn't have anything in common. Like I met a British insurance salesman, and I was bringing him to the airport, and he was quiet for the first 10 minutes, but then we started talking, and he was like fearful about how technology is going to affect his kids, and he's like, you know, we used to control technology, but now technology controls us. But like I missed making the connection with him because my Uber app is like messing up on my phone. I was like, that's so ironic that we missed, because you're just saying that right then. All right, so, and sometimes I try a little too hard. And I don't know how many people have driven Uber, ridden Uber. I've heard like half and half. Like some people hate when their Uber driver talks to them. I tell the passengers like that, like I wish there was a button that said, I wish my Uber driver would shut the F up, which would be like ideal. But for example, I picked up a young lady and I asked her what she did, and she said, oh, I'm in business school. And I said, what are you studying? She said, business. And there was like 5 minutes of awkward silence. And I dropped her off at a bar. And I then said to her, I hope you get down to the business of partying tonight. And she looks at her phone, she's like, yeah, I gotta go. And she gets out of the car. But I want to tell you, the one thing I've found universally to be true in driving Uber is that regardless of like race, creed, gender, ethnicity, belief set, the one thing that unites almost all of humanity is that no matter who you are, you will love it when the song No Diggity comes on. So I want to tell you about this one misconnection I had. I was picking up some people in University City, right in this general area, and it was a guy and his girlfriend, and they got in the car, and like again, like my mindset is like, don't judge right away, don't judge right away. And they get in, and I'm like, oh, what's up? What are you guys doing? Where do you guys go to school? Do you guys go around here? And the guy's like, Villanova. And I'm like, don't judge, don't judge. And I keep talking to him, but like instantaneously, like he just starts making fun of me to his girlfriend for like the entirety of the ride. Like like at one point I was like, oh, what are you studying? He's like, finance, don't judge, don't judge. And I'm like, what do you want to do with that? It's like, be an investment banker. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, what does that involve? Like, I get it. I've seen The Big Short. But he says, you probably won't understand. And then, like, we passed this place, and I'm like, oh, that's NPR. It's like everybody's dream to be on NPR someday. He's like, what is that, your dream or something? I'm just like upset that like, I'm trying to connect with these people, and I realize that I'm driving this guy to his girlfriend's spin class at her gym, and I'm trying my hardest not to judge them. And they get out of the car, and I'm feeling kind of hurt that I haven't made a connection. So this will be on the internet, I think. So I want to kind of leave this out there as my misconnection for that Villanova finance guy, if that's right. This is my misconnection for that Villanova finance guy, all right? I know you don't think I understand economics, but I get it. Like supply and demand, that's economics, right? And if like he keeps supplying the world with an air of smug superiority, people like me are gonna demand that he stop being an asshole about it. And like, I know one thing about him that maybe everybody else doesn't know, which is that at the end of that ride, a certain song came on, No Diggity. And he's the only person who I've ever experienced to have absolutely zero reaction to that song. So maybe it's not my fault that there was no connection there. Thank you.